Elite Facts presents
50 interesting facts you may not have known. Number 18.
50.
Salt and sodium are not the same thing. Salt is the term commonly used for sodium chloride, NaCl, which is a table salt. Sodium chloride is just 40% sodium and 60% chloride. 1 teaspoon of table salt contains 2,325 milligrams of sodium.
49.
I learned that most condoms are not vegan.
48.
Dogs can smell cancer. Researchers have found that dogs are able to pick up on a specific scent that cancer produces in a person, which is undetectable to humans. So if your dog is acting strange around you, it may be you who needs to get checked out by a physician.
47.
There is a mutation that causes bones to become 8 times denser than normal that allows people to walk away from car accidents without a single fracture, but with a trade-off of being unable to swim.
46.
Despite what you've been told, coffee does not dehydrate you and likely hydrates you instead.
45.
Rob McElhenney of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia originally wanted the entire cast to get fat for a single season. When nobody else agreed, McElhenney decided to do it on his own, gaining 1/3 of his body weight and then losing it again just for a season.
44.
While making Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Walt Disney paid the animators $5 for gags for the movie and $10 if it made it into the final cut.
43.
Bill Murray agreed to voice Garfield because he thought Garfield was a Coen Brothers movie, the same Coen Brothers who worked on The Big Lebowski, Fargo, and later on No Country for Old Men. This, however, was not the case.
42.
The most valuable car used in a film is the 1968 Ford Gulf GT40 from the 1971 film Le Mans that was auctioned at Sotheby's for $11 million.
41.
Bat Out of Hell was intended by producer Todd Rundgren to spoof Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run, and Meatloaf and Jim Steinman weren't in on the joke.
40.
Jimi Hendrix leased a room from Ringo Starr in 1966 and was evicted for throwing whitewash on the walls during an acid trip.
39.
1 out of every 160 New Zealanders were involved in the production of the Lord of the Rings franchise.
38.
The 2008 movie The Dark Knight sold at least 22 million physical copies on home video in the USA. In comparison, the best-selling music album in the USA, Michael Jackson's Thriller, released in 1982, has sold 31 million copies.
37.
Squidward from SpongeBob is, in fact, an octopus and not a squid.
36.
The Simpsons has been on television for so long that it would take 9 days and 14 hours to watch all of the Simpsons episodes straight in one run. By the time you watch this video, this fact will most likely be outdated.
35.
Sharks have a sixth sense they can use to detect electrical signals in water, making them able to detect prey and potential mates, and even human-made batteries. This effect is known as electroreception.
34.
99% of all species that ever lived on Earth are extinct.
33.
The Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II had at least 88 children and had 8 wives. At least 3 of his wives were his daughters, and a 4th was either his daughter or his sister. Everyone together, ew.
32.
The Apollo 12 backup crew secretly added pictures of Playboy playmates to the astronauts' lunar checklists.
31.
Iconic rocker Frank Zappa's home recording studio in Hollywood Hills was known as the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen.
30.
Bruce Willis is partially deaf in his left ear due to some of the loud explosions and gunfire while filming Die Hard. He said, quote, "Due to an accident on the first Die Hard, I suffer 2/3 partial hearing loss in my left ear and have a tendency to say, what?"
29.
During E3 in 2009, a small protest made up of people claiming to be from a local church was held in objection to EA's game Dante's Inferno. Some protesters went as far as to call EA the Antichrist. Confirming the suspicions of many, EA later admitted that the protest was a hoax to promote their game.
28.
Several towns around the world are testing 3D zebra crossings in an attempt to curb speeding.
27.
The Pentagon has over 20 fast food restaurants, which include KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and many more.
26.
Charles Darwin ate every animal he ever discovered.
25.
The PlayStation was originally designed as a Nintendo console, with Sony to make the inside components. When Nintendo console changed their minds about making the console, and Sony decided to go ahead and make the PlayStation.
24.
Anthony Daniels, who endured years of discomfort in the C-3PO costume, was so annoyed by Alan Tudyk playing K-2SO in Rogue One in the comfort of a motion capture suit that he cursed at Tudyk. Tudyk later joked that an FU from Daniels was among the highest compliments he's ever received.
23.
While filming the hoverboard scene in Back to the Future 2, Cheryl Wheeler-Duncan, stunt double for Darlene Vogel, was injured. Instead of flying through the glass in the courthouse, she hit the concrete pillar and then fell onto the concrete below. You can see this in the actual film.
22.
The first historical record of a Yo Mama joke was 3,500 years ago by a Babylonian student. It was chiseled into a cuneiform tablet.
21.
A king cobra can grow up to 18 feet or 6 meters long, stand up to 6 feet or 2 meters tall, and has enough neurotoxin in a single bite to take the lives of 20 people or even an elephant.
20.
Queen ants live to be around 30 years old.
19.
Pringles chip can creator Fred Bauer had some of his ashes buried in one of the cans per his request.
18.
In the UK in 2009, the #1 Christmas song was Killing in the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine.
17.
Popcorn became popular during the Great Depression because it was fairly inexpensive.
16.
The nests or beds that chimpanzees make for themselves on treetops are much cleaner, containing fewer microbes and parasites when compared to human beds.
15.
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny were the first cartoon characters to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
14.
Painting was once an Olympic event from 1912 to 1948.
13.
Bears technically don't hibernate.
12.
Greeks thought the giraffe was a mythical crossbreed of a camel and a leopard called a camel leopard.
11.
The purpose of the fairy tale Beauty and the Beast was to help young girls accept arranged marriages.
10.
Japanese kitchen knives are a lot sharper than katana swords, since blacksmiths switched from making swords to making knives when the samurai were banned from carrying swords in the 19th century to modernize Japan after the Meiji Restoration.
9.
While on a trip to Kenya, Rowan Atkinson once kept a private plane in the air after the pilot fainted mid-flight. But as horrible as it sounds, we would have loved to have seen a Mr. Bean episode of this situation.
8.
Siamese cats get their color points due to a temperature-sensitive gene. The colder the body part, the darker the fur will become in that area.
7.
Houseflies have superior eyesight compared to similar creatures and are able to see everything in slow motion. This is why swatting them is so difficult compared to other insects.
6.
During the 1950s, rainbow trout were stocked in many American lakes by being thrown from airplanes.
5.
Monty Python's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life is the top requested funeral song in the UK.
4.
Honeybees only die after stinging humans and other mammals with thick skin, but are perfectly capable of attacking other insects.
3.
There exists a bicycle route from the start of the Rhine to its east end in the North Sea, 1,233 kilometers, or 766 miles long.
2.
In the 1970s, when John Williams first demonstrated the two-note Jaws danger theme to director Steven Spielberg, he laughed, thinking it was a joke, while Spielberg later said the movie would have been only half as successful without Williams. 1. In 1987, when David Bowie performed Heroes near the Reichstag in West Berlin, a massive crowd gathered on the eastern side to hear him perform from over the wall. The performance is considered to be a catalyst to the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.